Hello everybody, it's the Gnome and welcome to another DCU update. If you are new to my channel, let me just say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. And for all of you returning, I'm sure that you are excited for another taste of the DC animated worlds. So, only because of the fact that this brand new DC animated film called Injustice, which is based on the famous video games, which are based on a very popular comic book miniseries. When I found out that this was going to become a movie because we got a preview for it in Batman Along Halloween 2, it was only a matter of waiting to find out that this was actually a new addition to the DC original film library. So this has nothing to do with the current storyline that is being shaped right now. This is part of a library that is filled with things like Batman, The Return of the Caped Crusaders, and of course one of the ever-popular films in that library, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So what is Injustice all about, in case you haven't read the comic books or played the video games? Crazy enough, I haven't done both, but I already knew what the story was about. Basically, the unthinkable happens. A very nasty DC villain, you could probably guess which one it is, decides that it is time to break Superman by killing Lois Lane. And through that moment, Superman officially breaks down and becomes the authoritarian tyrant to the world, to the point where even the heroes are having to make a choice as to whether or not they are going to follow Superman's way, or if they are going to go up against Superman and possibly even see their own lives taken away from them. So, yes, this is a very cool idea. I know a lot of people that love the video games, so I also thought that it was really cool to see another film based on a popular DC video game title, just like Batman Assault on Arkham. Seeing the movie and seeing what it was all about, this is all that I'm going to say. This is one of the worst DC films that I have ever witnessed. This movie has so much potential because it's got such a great concept, but my God, is it executed in the worst way possible. I don't even want to get into pinpointing specific people or pointing fingers, but I will say that when it comes to the voice acting, it's some of the worst. It's very cardboard, it's very lifeless, and you really don't have any sympathy for any of these characters. Also, I will say, to single out a specific animated character in this film, Harley Quinn is extremely annoying, and I just don't want her in this movie. There also is a very weird thing that takes place involving Nightwing, which I think is so stupid and so pointless. I don't think that it really adds or takes away anything from this movie. I mean, the good part about this film is the animation is pretty cool. I mean, I really do love the costumes of all the characters because it is in an alternate universe. I also really appreciate the little spin that happens at the very end to get this world's Superman under control. But there are so many elements of this movie that really could have given you the potential to see a truly great movie, and everything just falls flat on its face. To be put bluntly, you think it's going to take one step forward, and then it takes 5 steps back. I don't know what they were intending for this movie to become, because there is definitely no franchise potential in this film because of the disaster that it is, but whether good or bad or indifferent, because believe me, I have seen a lot more average to not-so-great DC animated films coming out in the last 5 years, and I will say that it still doesn't prevent me from picking it up, because the only way to really get a copy of this is to either watch it on HBO Max or have a physical copy, and I feel that when it comes to certain film libraries, you really do need to take the good with the bad. So, yeah, Injustice, my advice to you is, unless you truly love this video game franchise, or if you truly love DC animation, give it a watch. But if you have no familiarity with any of these characters, or just don't know what to think about this movie, do yourself a favor and skip it. So those are my thoughts on Injustice. I am really curious now to see what 2022 is going to hold for DC animation, because just got the launch of the brand new season of Young Justice called Young Justice Phantoms, and I will be reviewing that when the entire series is officially up. We're getting 1 episode a week. We are looking forward to the 3rd season of Harley Quinn, a brand new Batman animated series, and a bunch of very interesting DC animated titles that are coming out in regards to video releases, one of which is actually going to be the very first CGI DC animated film. We've already gotten a DC animated series in CGI in Green Lantern, but I'm really curious to see what that title is going to bring us. So I'm looking forward to seeing the continuation of the current DC universe timeline, which is called Rebirth, and of course looking forward to all of the other titles. I think we're also getting a new showcase package, which I'm also very excited about because Constantine is going to be the main focal point. So until then, everybody, I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.